Apologies for the appearance. The new shop is 90% done, but still under construction. Now, what I'm wearing here is everything that I need to climb up a tree and hunt a deer, minus my bow and whatever unnecessary snacks and layers of clothing I decide to throw in my backpack. But this right here is everything. I've got 2 sticks with aiders, I've got a platform, and I've got pouches with my lineman, rope tether, and another daisy chain for hanging my bow from a tree, as well as some other little odds and ends like headlights and things like that. What I'm wearing right here represents the last 2.5, 3 seasons of tinkering and refinement, obsessing during every single sit about how can I be quieter, more efficient, safer, getting up into a tree, and as lightweight and minimalist as possible. I'm pretty minimalist. I love this setup. I'm quite frankly pretty obsessed with it. I've never felt so dialed in. But, and this is a expensive but, everything there costs about $1,000, probably more if I'm being honest, not to mention probably another grand in accessories that didn't make the cut that I experimented with over the last couple years. Now, like I said, I love that. I think there were some valuable lessons in going through that whole refinement process and trying new things. But if I'm being honest, and if I were to do it over again, what I would recommend doing is getting something like this. The new Workhorse series from Tethered is a new saddle ecosystem that Tethered has come off with. This is actually the Grit series, sorry. The Grit series from Tethered is an offshoot of, they're still part of Tethered, but it's going to be the more cost-effective option. So a lot of the same accessories, a new saddle, a new platform, and some new accessories in this new Grit brand. The way Tethered was able to bring the cost down is the more expensive items like the saddles themselves and the platforms they have made overseas for the Grit lineup. Now you might be saying, AJ, how can you recommend something that is still in the box, you obviously haven't worn it, and it's not even on the market yet? Well, I was lucky enough, because I do photos for Tethered, to get a prototype Workhorse saddle setup last year. I used this all of December and January. One of the advantages to not tagging out is more days in the woods, and I can honestly say that although it's not as streamlined and lightweight as the setup that I just showed you, I never felt like I was lacking anything. I felt completely comfortable, and that's why I think that this is a really good option. And I'll go through the accessories and what you get and what's in the Grit lineup, and then we'll go through the prices. And I am so excited about this. I actually, Tethered sent me these saddles and these accessories to take photos of, but I want to give away a Workhorse saddle and a Workhorse XL to one of you guys. So make sure you're subscribed, drop a comment below, let me know where are you saddle hunting. Oh, by the way, these Grit systems are going to be available through retailers, so you'll actually be able to go into stores. I'm not sure which stores are carrying them just yet, but I know that some local archery shops and things like that already have orders in, so that's really cool to be able to get your hands on some of this stuff and like really just play with it a little bit before you buy. I want to go over how I set up my Workhorse saddle, as well as some of the other accessories that I've already pulled into my kit and swapped out from the Grit series. As far as my saddle setup, one of the things I really like about the Grit series is it's a good foundation in that it gives you all of the accessories you need, plus some additional creature comforts without being overwhelming. I've tried saddle setups in pretty much every configuration. I was a maximalist for a couple of weeks where like I had every possible pocket on my setup and I didn't even have a backpack. I just had everything on the saddle. That was clunky, didn't like it. What I settled on, you guys saw, is much closer to what you have here. It's actually basically identical to what you have here. So my Workhorse saddle I am on the left side, so it'll be on my left side. I grew up, my framing houses was the family business, so I'm used to loading from my left side, so I like having my lineman's rope and my tree tether and everything that I need for safety and hanging things up into a tree to be on my left side. So packed in last is going to be the lineman's belt. You guys might have seen on the Workhorse saddle, what comes in the box is actually you get the saddle, the tether and lineman rope, and a back support band, which is one of these guys right here. Personally, I don't run a back support band. I do think it's a nice, comfortable option, especially if you're not used to hunting out of a saddle. Saddle shape actually is a thing. You use a bit more weird muscles, and if you're used to just, especially if you're a guy that just sits in an office all day, you'll feel it in your back that first day because you're just not used to it. It's just like if you're not used to being in a tree stand, you're going to be sore and for weird reasons after that too. So I'm using the lineman's belt that comes with the grit system, and then under that will be my tree saddle. The reason I have them loaded up that way is because I want them in available in order and reverse order that I'm going to need them. So when I approach a tree, I'm going to need my lineman's belt first while I'm setting up my sticks and climbing up the tree. Then once I get up there, I pull out my tree tether myself to the tree, take away my lineman's belt, put that in the back in the pocket itself, and then reverse that order coming down the tree. So I really like that these pockets, when they're on your body, they suck in nice and tight, so they're not really baggy. There's not a lot of excess material, but they have plenty of room for both your lineman's rope and your tree tether, which I really like. Not only that, but with the exterior pocket, I also have plenty of room for my hiss strap and fold and go. So this is what I use to actually hang my backpack off of the tree. I'll leave a carabiner on this. Just, you guys probably, if you're familiar with tethered at all, you've probably seen this on virtually every tethered setup you've seen before. This is just the grid version of that, so slightly different colorway, but this just hooks onto itself. It's a daisy chain, and then you can hook all sorts of accessories and things from it. This is a fold and go. Again, this is an accessory Tethered's had out for at least a season or two. Just fits right into this daisy chain, and then you can hang your bow or your backpack from here. I use this for my bow. I like the nice big generous hook. I find it's just a lot more streamlined than some of the other solutions for hanging a bow, especially if you're doing like a public land hunt or you're set up in an area where you can't have like a spike screwed into a tree. This is my preferred option. I think it's just a lot smoother, and I just leave that on there. So this is not a super tiny accessory setup, but there's definitely smaller ones out there, but even with that, this is nice and lightweight, easy to use, and it fits perfectly in this pocket with some room to spare. So I overall really like that. The grit version is going to be, other than color, is going to be identical to the tethered version. Now on this saddle, you don't get the assortment of molly that you do on the other tethered saddles, so that's going to be something new. So it's not going to be as modular as the other saddles, but quite frankly, I always felt like that was kind of a waste of weight. I really didn't find myself using more than the equivalent of what you have on this saddle anyway. So that's another reason why I think this is a really good option. Now, something I didn't talk about at first was material-wise. This comes in two different camouflages. So you have Mossy Oak Bottomland and the new Real Tree. I think it's the XP. I always get Real Tree's patterns confused. But it's their new tree style pattern from Real Tree. This material is nice and soft and quiet to the touch. So I really like that. The one downside, if you want to consider a downside, is it's not breathable mesh like the other tether saddles are, like the Phantom or the Lockdown, which they've rebranded. I forget the name of it now. On the right side pocket, I don't really put a whole bunch of stuff. This pocket's big enough where like you could throw a Nalgene water bottle in here if you wanted to. Mine's actually empty. I kind of just use it as like a dump pouch. I might throw some snacks, you know, some extra clothes that I just want at the ready. Maybe I don't want to bring a backpack that day. Another accessory that you guys saw me using on my other system is suspenders. I've used suspenders in the past with different saddles. I like them a lot with, it really depends on the saddle. In the case of the Workhorse, I found that the belt is stiff enough and supportive enough. You can see there's a lot of stitching going on here around this saddle. So there's enough support that even when I hang, I can hang 2 climbing sticks and my saddle platform off of each side of this saddle with, they have little hooks here. So I'll just, you know, I'll run a carabiner or something. I can hang that all off of here and this isn't going to start drooping. But, you know, depending on your size and shape, saddle or suspenders, not a bad option to have. Also, they are Tethered's bringing over their quick draw. This is just a little clip that you put on. You can put it right where your I don't know why I can't speak right now. Right where your quiver typically mounts to. Another accessory worth thinking about is this is a knee pad. Tethered makes a version of this as well. This is just an exposed foam knee pad. This thing has 2 bungees, so you actually just bungee it to the tree. Not a bad thing to have. One of the things that, one of the ways I've actually used this in the past is on my backpack. I'll actually just mount this thing to my backpack, and then when I hang my backpack from the tree, depending on what you keep in your backpack, if you don't have anything fragile, I can actually rest my knees on this and my backpack, so I've got double or triple the cushioning, and then it's just a really comfortable way of just, if you're doing those all-day sits like during the rut or those lockdown times of season, I just found that's really nice. As far, so this is an important one. So this right here, you guys probably recognize this Predator pack right here. This, obviously, with the new branding. This is the new Predator pack for the Grit series. I think Tethered started introducing some of these laser cut molly to their lineup the last year or so, but what's different is some of the attachments and some of the clips and things are a little different. I definitely like this version of the pack the best out of all the ones that I've used, and I've had all of them. But one of the things I really like and that I am planning on running is the new platform for the Grit series. So you guys can see I already hockey taped this thing up on all the metal buckles and things like that, but I really like this saddle setup. I liked the Predator platform from Tethered already. One of the things that I really am excited for with this one, even though, you know, again, I'm a photographer for Tethered, I could probably just call them up and get whatever platform I want, but I do like the small footprint of this one, how it integrates onto my pack system. And what I really like about this, other than the cool colorway is awesome, but I like this new cleat that they came out with for this year. So this one has these like bat wings on there for just a little bit more grip. I can't tell you how many times I've been in the tree and like you're trying to get like a weird angle or really work yourself around that tree. It's nice to be able to put one foot on the platform itself and your second foot a little bit higher up to just get that little bit more stability, a little bit more leverage when you're working around that tree. So I think this is going to be really cool compared to so you can compare that to the old, the Predator platform came with 2 different cleats. I have the more aggressive one on there, but this comes standard with a more aggressive one, plus those bat wings. So just a little bit more versatility for when you're up in the tree. I really like that they did that. You know, cam buckle on there as for tying this down to the tree. Nothing wrong with that. I like that they went with the orange for the adjustment knob, just a little bit easier to see and find and the new grooves on there. I also found that this is a little stiffer, which I like because this adjusts the angle, and I just found that on the Predators those were typically a little light. Really excited about this setup. So yeah, I'm gonna be running a mixture of grit and some of the Super Gucci stuff this year, and I'm super stoked about it. So if you guys haven't already, make sure you subscribed and get down in the comments and leave a note about how you're going to be saddle hunting this year, and you could win one of these workhorses or workhorse XLs, and I'll probably throw in a couple of these other accessories as well. Stay tuned, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. I'm working with a lot of really cool companies this year, so I'll have access to some really cool things that I gotta stop saying really, that I'm excited to share with you all, but especially the next month or two is going to be very hype. So subscribe if you aren't already, and win a saddle, or don't, but subscribe anyway. Catch you guys next time. Bye.